So we've warmed up with IELTS Speaking Part 1 and done some short introduction questions. We've dived deeper into Part 2 and given you a chance to take full advantage of the note-taking time, be a reporter, be a storyteller, give all the important details in a 2-minute answer. Today, we are going to finish the IELTS speaking exam on a high note by checking out Part 3 and some serious study tips that you can apply to lots of topics. So, if this interests you, pull up a cozy seat. Welcome to the channel, guys. I'm Kevin. I've been teaching ESL and native English speakers all around the world for 16 years, and I'm really stoked to be able to share all of my best study strategies with you. If you find this video is advantageous and it is helping you improve your speaking and writing skills, by all means, feel free to subscribe and ring that notifications bell. If you haven't checked out my website already, go have a little visit at kevindonor.com. I've combined speaking, writing tips for all my videos there in some simple handouts, and it's a great place to go to check out some of my upcoming books that will be published very soon. As you recall, in our last video, we were learning all about Aristotle's rhetoric, that is, using ethos, pathos, and logos to help build your argument and persuade your listener through speaking or writing. If you don't know about these little tricks, go and check it out, because it's a wonderful way for you to build your examples and reasoning and help to just build a strong argument overall to, again, persuade your listener by using logic and reasoning, by helping your listener to gain your trust or gain trust of you through your ethics or moral values, or my personal favorite, to kind of pull on the heartstrings of your listener by using an emotional appeal. And again, that can be an appeal to suffering, sadness. It can be an appeal to happiness or anything. You're making your audience sympathize or empathize with your cause. Okay, our main agenda for this class is to tackle IELTS Speaking Part 3. It is another 5-minute long component, but I will go over all of the format momentarily, as well as different kinds of questions, and of course, our serious study tips. It's important to realize that the IELTS speaking topic is the same general topic as the card for Part 2. We're going to continue on with that, and you're going to get questions about society, social issues. We'll talk about those kinds in a moment. You're going to get approximately 4 to 6 questions depending on the length of your answer. On that note, your answer should be no less than 30 seconds and no more than 1 minute. It's better to lean toward the latter, to be honest. Better to make it longer than shorter. So practice trying to make 1-minute answers. That would be ideal. I'm throwing in the 1-sentence introduction and conclusion option. It is purely optional. If you kind of want to make your structure a little bit more like an essay, where you start with a general topic sentence and you do kind of a summary sentence at the end just to wrap things up and kind of emphasize some of the key points in your answer, then that's definitely an option. Let's look at some IELTS Speaking Part 3 question types that you will be getting. We have a lot here. Of course, as I mentioned, you're going to get questions that deal with about 4 to 6 of these kinds. You can see we have problems, solutions, your country, past, future, change, advantages and disadvantages, compare and contrast, why, how to improve something, hypothetical questions, and opinion questions. So I'm going to show you a couple examples here that have the Part 2 question and some corresponding Part 3 questions together. We're going to pick a few of these questions today and work with our study tips and building our model answers. One major thing that we are doing all the time when we look at these questions is we want to paraphrase. That is, take the keywords from the question and repeat those words in your answer, but not the same words. We want to change the words, so give synonyms, that is, different words with the same meaning. And it's really crucial that we remember to do that all the time. Paraphrasing helps us stay on topic with those key points that we can build our examples and our reasons around. On that note, I want to give you some new vocabulary and expressions that are going to help us to build our study tips today. We're going to come up with some synonyms here that will help us to talk about importance, result, impact, problems, and solutions. When we're dealing with importance, there are some simple words, some simple synonyms we can use, such as vital, significant, crucial. I'll just give you a few. Remember, we have a 15-minute speaking test with the IELTS, so you just want to pick your favorites and kind of use them to fill in the blanks. When we're dealing with the result or impact, we have linking words. So we give our example, and then we use these words to build our reasons. So all of our reasons can be based on the importance of something or the result or impact. You can see some good connecting or linking phrases here. As a result, accordingly, consequently, this in turn, a positive or negative effect of this is. Remember, in this speaking exam, and I'll probably do another video on must use IELTS vocabulary, positive and negative are two of those essential words. We can also say that something is a detriment, which means it's harmful, or there's a disadvantage to it, or there are repercussions. Repercussions are negative consequences. When talking about solutions, again, we can be looking for a quick fix, how to address this issue, how to resolve, right? To resolve this problem, or to find a resolution, which is the noun, find a resolution to this issue. Again, we can find the detail of something and discuss whether it's a short or a long-term solution. If something is just like a Band-Aid, it means that it's a temporary solution, but it won't necessarily fix things over the long run. Moving right along, We are getting serious now into these study tips, and I know I'm laughing, I'm making a joke. But seriously, if you use these tips, we want to try to apply them to as many topics as we can. I try to give you the most practical strategies because we know that these IELTS questions and cards are changing every 4 months. However, while these questions change 3 times a year, we want to come up with study tips that can help us to tackle any question. Okay, that's one of my major goals with helping you to learn to use language more effectively. First thing we're looking to do is to establish our opinion in the first. Imagine this kind of like a topic sentence in an essay. We are making an argument, we're giving examples and reasoning to prove our points. Thus, we want to make our opinion very clear. Okay, we don't want to waste any words. So we're giving reasons that focus on the importance, the result or impact, or identify issues and solutions. Now, of course, if someone's asking you about problems and solutions, then clearly your reasons are going to match the question. But if you don't know what to talk about, then you can always fall back on these 3 things. Ideally though, remember, your answer and your reasons are going to match and follow the key words in the question. Keep on topic. Are you ready? Let's go. So we're looking at one of the questions from the IELTS Speaking Part 3 that I showed you earlier here, which is, what are some problems caused by increased traffic? From my point of view, a couple major issues that stem from heavy traffic are psychological and environmental effects. So we've stated psychological, mental effects, mental impact, and environmental impact as well. 2 general points, just like a topic sentence, okay? Let's look at another question here, and again, we'll establish our opinion. The question is, who behaves better while waiting in lines, adults or children? Off the top of my head, I would say that kids tend to act up more than adults when they are waiting in lines. And here's our third question in which we are establishing our opinion in the first sentence. Why are some paintings more valuable than others? While I'm no connoisseur of the arts, connoisseur is an expert on something, a connoisseur. While I'm no connoisseur of the arts, I would imagine that there are several factors appraisers consider when determining how much a painting is worth. The second tip we're looking at is building strong reasons for our examples by giving the importance. We're going to build on the painting question. Why are some paintings more money than others? Who determines this? And what are the considerations that they look at? Again, you can see the first sentence of our answer, which establishes our opinion. Our opinion is that there are different factors or different reasons that determine the value of painting. So now we're giving our reasons here based on importance. I imagine the most vital things they look at would be the popularity of the artist, historical context or background, how controversial or rare the painting is, and of course, what condition it is in. Also, it's really important to keep in mind that most people aren't art collectors. This means that the aesthetic value, that is to say the beauty or emotions that people feel from art, definitely outweigh any kind of monetary value. There are countless masterpieces out there worth millions of dollars. Yet, beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder. Beautiful. We are doing well. Next, we're looking to give reasons that look at the result or impact of something. And there's actually two things that we can use, I realize now, because the question is about problems. And I gotta say, problems and solutions go hand in hand. Never ever talk about a problem without offering a solution. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna do a little bit of each actually to make it longer. We're gonna talk a little bit about the results and impact, and we're gonna offer some potential solutions. For instance, commuters who get stuck in rush hour traffic jams daily have higher stress levels. As a result, they may be less focused at work or even vent their frustrations out on their family members when they get home. Another concern is that enduring heavy traffic for years on end will take its toll by reducing people's lifespans. Emissions from increased traffic is a major contributor to global warming. This in turn is causing the ice caps to melt, and in the last several years we have experienced much more extreme weather. Some potential solutions to this problem would be to provide more public transit for people in communities to take buses or subways. In doing so, governments should build this kind of infrastructure that is based on sustainable energy so that we can not only lower the levels of air pollution, but also the stress of commuters. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is identify some problems and solutions, and we kind of did that a little bit in the last one, but that's okay. You can combine things, no problem. We can see our first sentence here where we establish our opinion regarding who behaves better in lineups, adults or children. So now we're going to give our reasons that identify the issue and offer some solutions. This is largely in part due to a child's lack of social development. It is very common to see kids throwing tantrums at bus or train stations or lying down on the floors in shopping malls. An ideal way to address this dilemma is to validate the child's feelings of unhappiness and divert their attention. Specifically, you can say, "Look, I understand that you feel bored right now," and then suggest that you play I Spy or some kind of guessing game. Another way to resolve this conflict would be to have the child think about something to look forward to, like the good times you will have after you get out of line. This is really an ideal way to teach kids that good things come to those who wait. On the other hand, adults have learned to control their emotions and understand that patience is a virtue. While they may be vexed on the inside, adults will refrain from making a scene in public as they understand that being the parents and role models, such behavior is generally frowned upon. One thing that's important, again, to keep in mind is that when you're comparing different groups of people, young and old, as is the case here, we want to look at both sides. Okay, so you can always do that as well. And it's really important that you do that, actually, because it gives you a more comprehensive, that is, a well-rounded answer. Let us look at our daily exercise. From our first study tip, I want you to practice making clear your opinion in the first sentence. And you can do it in general and then go into specifics with your examples and your reasoning. Keep in mind that your opinion is your argument. It is your claim. And it is your job as a good speaker or writer to convince your audience that what you're saying is true. It's really important that you kind of provide a map for your listener and your examiner, in this case, by just letting that person know where you stand, and therefore they can kind of have an indication of where your answer might go. This is similar to a thesis and an essay. You're making your opinion statement in general, and then you get more detailed. The second thing you want to practice doing is to build strong reasons that are based on the importance. When we're talking about the importance, and you can always do this if you don't know what to talk about, I've mentioned this way back in my video on fluency. If you don't know what to talk about, you can always discuss the importance, and the importance relates to relationships. It relates to mental and physical health. Next, you want to practice reasons that are based on impact and result of something. It could be a positive or negative result. We're just really looking to add up our examples and give the so what, basically. What is the point of this? What is the impact or the result of something? So we're looking at how it has had a positive or negative influence on people, on the country, on relationships. And this is where part 3 really is your chance to have more of a social perspective. You want to keep that in mind, that you're looking at the big picture. You're looking at different cultures, groups of people. You're looking at your own country, and you're comparing things and giving your own opinions based on a social point of view. Finally, we want to give reasons that look at issues and potential solutions. Never talk about a problem without some kind of resolution. Okay? And it's very, very positive and constructive to have that outlook as well. Guys, you've done very well today. I know that if you are practicing these tips on a regular basis, then you will be improving gradually, feeling good about yourself because you're becoming more confident. Take a step back with the IELTS speaking, and remember that in these 15 minutes, you are getting your mark based on vocabulary, fluency, pronunciation, and grammar. Go back to one of my checklists, okay? Are you using collocations, idiomatic expressions? Are you using linking phrases? Are you using different grammar tenses? And are you using complex grammar structure by putting in subordinate conjunctions, starting sentences with like although, while, if, when, or using subordinate conjunctions in the middle, such as for, and. We'll go through the fanboys, right? Nor, but, or, yet, so. This concludes another video. Thank you so much for your support. And like I said, if you gained something, feel free to subscribe. I definitely appreciate you also leaving any of your comments below. I will take care of those as soon as possible, and I love to hear from my students. Thank you so much for checking out the video, guys, and we will see you again real soon.